The talking, nagging, lucha watching, zero viewing, indie supporting, drinking, cursing, son of a gun of a podcast. Join former pro wrestler and promoter Dave Dynasty and co-host Ike Isaacs as they talk wrestling and interview those within the business, bringing positivity back to pro wrestling. This is the Dave Dynasty Show.
And welcome to the Dave Dynasty Show. I am your host, Dave Dynasty.
And I'm your co-host, Ike Isaacs.
Yeah, resident douchebag trying to make a mockery of me there.
Yes, I am. That's my goal in life.
That's okay, because I'm in a good mood today, because this is the day we're recording. This is WrestleMania Sunday.
WrestleMania.
Capping off WrestleMania week, which maybe someday will grow into WrestleMania month, and so on and so on. But it is great. So many great events going on in the Orlando area. Lots of great shows. If you're not watching them, it's not too late. Go to the streaming services, subscribe, and watch them. There's some good stuff. Good stuff. And we got a good show today, too. But before we get into that, we thank you for listening to us, whether you do that on iTunes, SoundCloud, or YouTube. And whichever means you do, please make sure you subscribe, follow, like, leave comments, and share. If you listen to us on iTunes, make sure you rate and review us, because that helps us on the old charts.
Yep.
We want to climb. We want to be a top 40 band.
Make that money, yo.
Make that money, yo.
Yep.
Okay, well.
Teddy Long, player Teddy Long.
Hall of Famer Teddy Long.
Yes, Hall of Fame Teddy Long.
And make sure you visit us at davedynasty.com. From there, you can find links to all of our social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, and share. If you want to drop us an email, you can do that at davedynasty.com. And also, while you're on the website, make sure you click all the banners and buttons and so on and so forth to visit our sponsors like LuchaMaskUSA.com. You can also visit LuchaLoot.com and LuchaShop.com. And if you enter the promo code Dynasty on those, you receive 10% off your order. And there's also a link to our High Spots affiliate and our Amazon.com affiliate. Both of those cost you no additional money, but help us out. And you can also from there visit us at Pro Wrestling Tees and order our shirt. That is the best way to support us. DaveDynasty.com.
So much stuff.
Should be your home page on your browser.
Like when you click open Google, that shit should be there.
And every time you go on, order a shirt. I don't care if you already got one, just order again.
It's like you like some guy is probably sitting out there with like 18 shirts of ours in his closet.
I love that guy. If he
got
does.
Pictures of us on his wall with lipstick on them.
I don't care if he's ordering shirts.
as long as he's giving us money, we're good.
If you order 18 shirts, I will pimp out Ike for your whatever need you want.
Remember, I only get pimped out to Coldplay.
Coldplay? What the hell did Coldplay come from?
Oh, Train. Oh, I ruined my own joke.
You forgot your little band there, groupie. Which one you like?
No, I was listening to Coldplay earlier, so it's good stuff.
Just when I thought I couldn't hate you. Oh my God! So you know what?
Someone just shit in my face.
I don't think somebody just walked by as we're recording and literally farted. It sounded like they just shit themselves
on our podcast. We're not going to name any names.
Monica.
God,
everybody knows Monica. If you know Dave Dynasty, you probably know Monica. I love my wife. She just walked by and shat her drawers as we're recording.
I don't even want to smell it. So if I sound muffled,
she did it as she walked by you. So it might just be a reaction when you walk by Ike Isaacs. You want to shit.
If I sound muffled, it's because I have my shirt on my face because I'm not risking that shit.
So if you have not ordered 18 Dave Dynasty shirts, please do so now because apparently we have to fumigate.
Yeah, we have to get this shit fumigated here in a little bit. So, God bless America.
Oh wow.
What a way to start off a podcast. I think it's safe.
Look, now my phone's ringing. It could be somebody saying, did somebody shit their pants?
Yeah, I heard a boom.
Like it's one of my children. I just won't answer them.
There you go.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Wow, it could be the most awkward thing to happen on this podcast.
I think so.
I didn't know it could be toxic, just you having you on here every week, but
it's a wonder. It's a wonder and a half.
Apparently, the rectum of my wife wanted to make an appearance.
Apparently.
And then my dog's over here. I don't know what he's doing in the chair. He's trying to get comfortable. So, what a weird day.
I know. This stuff gets weirder and weirder as we can go on.
But we do thank you for joining us, and we hope we haven't lost you already.
Yeah, I say the first 4 minutes of this were it was a clusterfuck. It was a train wreck. But we're not going to redo it either.
No.
Just leave it in.
We do have a good interview today with you with the Iron Demon Shane Mercer.
Cool guy.
Yeah. One of the
Southern boy.
One of the great stars of Midwest wrestling. You see him all over the Midwest. Shows everywhere. Not even the Midwest. He's all over the place, but he's a regular in the Midwest, but he's branching out everywhere. And I advise you to go out, see him and support him. Buy a shirt from him too.
Oh yes.
Good dude. We got an interview with him. We have more wisdom from Mance Warner. Another good dude out there making the towns, getting that green and white.
He's an interesting man. I don't know. I say it every week, but I still yet to figure him out.
Yeah, well, a little more interesting. Today's wisdom has something to do with him and Disco Inferno.
Yeah, I heard about that. So, Disco Mancer.
That I would pay money to see. I smell a T-shirt.
Disco Mancer.
You know what? I listen to so much of his stuff, and I think, God, I can make a shirt out of that.
Just do it. Just make a shirt.
There's so many, but I think this one might be one we can't pass up.
Yeah, Disco Mancer.
Mancer.
Put like an afro on him with some like retro sunglasses. But it's like that picture of him looking all confused.
Which picture would that be?
All of them.
all of Mance's picture has him typically in some state of blood running down his face. And
blood and confusion.
Prince of the Deathmatch runner-up, Mance Warner.
Prince of the
Almost pulled it off.
And I
think he's going to be the king of the Deathmatch.
Yeah.
So
maybe he'll win that.
Maybe I ought to stockpile the wisdoms before he gets there, because
he wins that.
He'll
be
filleted.
big. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, either filleted or get big. Either way.
Either way, you're gonna. Wow. Hey, but the Midwest making all kinds of waves. Down in Orlando, CZW had their Best of the Best tournament. Big event, all kinds of stars. Midwest homie Dave Christ, IWA Mid-South World Champion, won that tournament. Makes my heart warm. Makes me feel good. The Midwest out there, we got all kinds of Indiana folk down in Orlando, down that area, tearing it up, doing shows.
Always Perry's down there, isn't he?
Trip Cassidy, all those guys are down there. I think Dale's down there. All kinds of guys.
Righteous.
All out there, proving that you can't overlook the Midwest any longer. Proving you can't overlook Indiana any longer.
We got some hell of a wrestlers here, man.
Yeah, making the name. That is awesome. Well, I don't know what else to say.
Want to talk about WrestleMania a little bit?
But by the time they hear this, it'll be over.
True.
I'm a little underwhelmed by the WrestleMania card. I hope it ends up being a better show.
I'm glad they didn't make the Goldberg Lesnar match the main event.
The thing is, well, we don't know. That's the rumor. We don't know yet, but
hopefully not.
There's so many good shows happening out there. Whatever else, I think God, that show looks so much better than WrestleMania. That card's so much better than WrestleMania. And what I've seen so far, it's like, God, that was so good. That was so good. That's so good. Is what's WrestleMania going to be? Hopefully it'll be good. I'm hoping it'll surprise me.
Yeah. Hoping it's better.
We'll see.
Excuse me.
But by the time you hear this, it'll be over.
And you'll see if we're right or wrong about it being good or bad. I don't know.
It's a matter of opinion, but
well, here's my one thing.
It's still WrestleMania. Yeah. It's still the event of it.
Well, I do want to say one thing though. I do want to mention this. The thing that I was most concerned about this WrestleMania is the fact that, like I said, Goldberg and Lesnar was supposed to be the main event. That was the original thought process. So I think it's
bad enough that Goldberg and Lesnar was a title match.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, it's bad enough that it was a match as is, but I think that if it's the main event, I think you're shooting a dead horse. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know. We all know my thoughts on Goldberg.
Old Goldberg. Goldberg.
Him being back was fun and all this and that. You know, it was okay. He went out and have a 2-minute match or 45-second match or whatever, and that's all well and good. But then when you put a title on him, I'm not one of those guys that say, I don't know. I just don't think. I don't hate the part-time wrestler thing. I don't think the part-time wrestler should be your champ, though.
Yeah.
I think your champ should be the guy the workhorse that goes out there and does it every day.
Kevin Owens.
Well, like Kevin Owens, yes.
I think they should have had him retain, and maybe him and Brock Lesnar.
You want the guy that, is going to make all your shows and make some house show appearances and all kinds of stuff. It's very active, and this is primary thing to me. That's the guy you want representing. But
see, like I would have watched the Kevin Owens Brock Lesnar match. That would have been good. Jesus Christ.
The podcast just got shit on again by the same individual, so we are going to take a fucking break.
And when we come back,
we're going to hear a word from our sponsors, Charmin.
Angel Soft.
Depends. And now she's literally over here posing, dancing. It's like fucking Hulk Hogan over here.
That's the wrong. Oh, there you go.
I apologize, Shane Mercer, that your interview appears on the episode with the shitting. That's no reflection on you.
On that note,
let's take a break. When we come back, we'll have an interview with the Iron Demon, Shane Mercer, so stick around.
Visit LuchaMaskUSA.com for official high-quality Lucha masks and merchandise, straight from the luchadors themselves. They have a huge and always growing inventory, so check back often. That's LuchaMaskUSA.com.
And welcome back to the Dave Dynasty Show. I am Ike Isaacs, your co-host, and today I am joined with a fantastic talent, the Iron Demon, Shane Mercer. How are you doing today, man?
Pretty good.
Awesome. All right, so we're just going to jump right into it and get going. So where are you from, Shane?
Well, my hometown is the very center of Kentucky, Lebanon, Kentucky.
Oh, wow, right on. So where do you hail from now?
Same place.
Oh, wow, okay, cool. So what was your childhood like? A lot of people who do wrestling nowadays, they used to play sports, or they had some kind of background in wrestling.
Well, growing up, whenever I first, realized, wrestling was something I fell in love with, probably when the age of 2 years old or somewhere around there, I never really got into many sports or anything, related you would think of like basketball or football or anything like that until high school, but it wasn't even football or, basketball or anything like that at all. I got into powerlifting in high school. That's really the only, I wanted to get into amateur wrestling, but my school didn't have any amateur wrestling at the time, so I got into some powerlifting classes and went to some competitions from there.
All right, right on. And definitely, for people who've not seen Shane wrestle, I think definitely that powerlifting background definitely applies to your image and your style of wrestling. But we'll get into that in a little bit. But so tell us your first memories as a wrestling fan. I don't know if you used to watch professional wrestling when you were a child or not.
Oh yeah, that's what I was meaning earlier when I said that at 2 years old. I think that's my first vivid memory of wrestling at all, and it was
okay.
I had my dad go to this old movie place whenever he was younger. I don't know if it was like a big, broad movie venture called Video Vault. And he rented a video for me to watch. I guess I chose as a kid. I don't really remember the reason why. I remember my first match I got to see was Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan. And after seeing that, it just, captured me, and I was in love with it ever since, wanting to get the video games, the toys, watch it on TV, and just became obsessed with it, which led all the way up to now.
Absolutely. And that's pretty cool, a lot of people want to ask them, what was your memories as a wrestling fan? They always tell me, I really don't remember. But it's really cool that you had a memory from when you're 2 years old. That's awesome. So, you mentioned a couple names there, Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, but who were you a fan of when you were a child?
Well, my favorite whenever I was, youngster, like 2 to 5 years old, around there was always Ultimate Warrior, just seeing him come out to the ring and being so full of adrenaline and everything about his character at the time. But as I grew older, I started and Ultimate Warrior left, of course, I started to fall in love with The Undertaker and everything he did, just watching him grow with his character and everything becomes synonymous with what he's adapted to today. It's just been crazy seeing him, evolve with the times so much and how things have molded with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I think he's one of the wrestlers that have definitely evolved at times, He had that period where he was even the American Badass. Or I think that was what it was, but definitely. So, you mentioned that when you were 2, that's when you really realized that wrestling was something for you. So when was it that you knew that you wanted to start training, that you wanted to get into it? Did you have a moment where you said, let's do this?
I can't remember an exact year, date, time, whatever, but I do remember the moment that I was kind of with the serious idea that this is something I want to do. Of course, I always had those little kids' ideas of everything going on. But I remember us having which a lot of schools having those career days. I remember going through there, and they have all these listings and little bubble dots you're supposed to fill in about what you want to be, and they always have these, kind of generic listings, like teachers or, engineer or construction worker, the stuff that they always give the kids. And I remember going through there kind of mad at the time because they didn't have something I think it was about 5th, 4th grade, somewhere in there, and they didn't have a professional wrestler on there, and I got aggravated over it because they didn't have one. But I remember thinking of that, and I was like, man, this is what I really want to do now that I'm thinking about this, and it's kind of thrown in my face. And ever since then, that's, been a broad idea of, like, yes, I want to make this a reality. I want this to come true, even though I had to fill in the generic response because they didn't have what I wanted at the time.
Yeah. So then you basically didn't want to be the generic response.
No, I didn't want to live no, I guess, what you would call average life for what the American society grows up and wants people to view with.
Absolutely. I think you need to make a shirt, Shane Mercer, not the average response. But so obviously, when you become a wrestler, you have to, be trained and such. So who was it that really trained you, or anybody who kind of took you under their wing?
Well, I didn't start out how I should have in the business. I kind of just broke into it, just getting thrown straight into it. Back during the MySpace days, I turned 17 years old, going to turn 18. I know you had to be 18 in Kentucky to be a wrestler because of the licenses and all that stuff, but I didn't know much other besides that. So I typed in on the search bar back in the day and typed in wrestler, and the first thing that popped up was Zodiac wrestler, which is, the Zodiac now. You see him going around everywhere and doing the show still to this day. And I messaged him, and I was like, hey, the young kid not knowing nothing about this. I've always loved wrestling, this and that, and I'm wondering how to get into it. And he pretty much messaged me back and gave me the information about sending off for your license. Just back then, you didn't have to get trained for nobody or nothing. You can just get a license in Kentucky and just jump right in. And I got my license and went down to this, old barn-looking federation in the middle of nowhere, Kentucky, and just started learning the basics there and pretty much doing that with a buddy of mine at the time who now cameras for IWA named Corey. And we all just went down there doing our deal, doing these crazy-ass matches and not really understand any psychology or nothing about the business until a few years later whenever I got in the ring with Bull Payne. And then he's the one, after we almost got in a fight, kind of took me under his wing and started training me and getting me to understand the psychology of the business and actually, I guess you could say, develop me into someone to understand about things more. Him and Todd Morton both. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be nowhere where I am today.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, obviously, you said that you had some training, but then you really didn't get trained until you, like you said, you met those guys. So, what was your first match after you were what you would consider actually trained by those guys?
I'd say it's against Bull Payne.
Okay, right on.
Because just going with him on these shows, we used to go throughout the whole Kentucky area, run a feud with him at the same time, learning so much stuff that I'd never even thought of before. But beforehand, we had one match, and I guess I did something disrespectful but didn't understand it at the time whenever he's in the ring. And then after we did that, we got into it over it, and he didn't know at the time how long I've been trained or nothing. I finally told him. We sat down and talked about it after getting into it, and then, bam, it's just all history from there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, right now, I think you're part of you're part of the generation of, what's the word? Independent wrestling right now is probably hotter than it's ever been. So you're part of this era where you get to see how amazing it's becoming and how great it's evolving. So for you, what is the best and also the worst part about being an independent wrestler?
The best part of it is, like you just said, it's so high right now, and it seems like indie wrestling right now is at an all-time high. I remember, the first years of me wrestling, the biggest thing that you always heard everyone going on about was talking about Ring of Honor and Punk and Joe and that era of wrestling. That was kind of the independence that you heard about. It was just a select few, like the Emma Cabana and a few others, but it seems like now that it's broke off into such a broad spectrum that there's so many more names and so many more places that gets idolized with wrestling rather than just that select core of Ring of Honor and stuff. Nowadays you hear about PWG, you still hear about Ring of Honor, CZW, you hear from places in New York and Texas, Canada, and there's even a big broad range of federations from the UK now and Japan that people hear about consistently. Back then it seemed like just New Japan or All Japan, that was about it. It's just such a broad range of so many different things, and people were more in the known about what's actually going on in the business today. But as far as the bad things about it, I guess as an independent wrestler, one of the bad things about it also coexists in what I just said, too, because there's so many more names out there now. There's so many more places to go that whenever you do get a chance to go somewhere, you're going to have to fight that much harder just because there's so many more wrestlers now. And there's so many different kinds of talent, but you have to reach in and dig even deeper to separate yourself if you want to be different than all these other guys. Because there's always somebody that's seemed like done something before, so it's a whole lot harder to try to be more original.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely. I think that's kind of an issue with a lot of people. Originality and trying to find that is difficult, like you said, because there's so many faces now. It's hard to make an original face. So,
yeah.
You've appeared all over. I mean, you've been to the corners of like you said, where you live in Indiana even. So, what is your top highlight out of your career so far?
It's pretty hard to narrow it down to just one. I had a cool retro moment for myself last year when I returned to IWA after an absence there for a little while, which is pretty awesome. We did the deal where I came back and took out two guys looking for competition after I came back to IWA, and Ian was telling me about how he was just messing with me. And he had somebody a real opponent for me to come out, and then it was Sabu. And that was always cool for me, growing up watching him. And it's rare to have somebody from that era that I grew up in watching wrestle, because they're still becoming far and far less and few and far in between about those guys still wrestling in independents. There's still a few around, but not many.
Yeah.
And just getting that chance while he's still around to do something like that, to get in the ring with him, is pretty awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just getting in there with Bull Payne, and like hearing him congratulate me now and giving me like top respect compared to like when I said I almost kind of fight with him over, I guess, being disrespectful, not understanding it back then, and just seeing how long and far I've come from that. It's always been pretty high on my list. Just anytime I get some gratitude from the guys of that era, I've always loved that.
Yeah. So, definitely. So, as we kind of mentioned earlier, for people who don't know, again, the name you go by in professional wrestling is the Iron Demon. So, how did that name come about? How did the persona, the Iron Demon, be created?
Well, for years growing up, whenever, you and your buddies get together and all that stuff, you always have these wrestling names when you get together and mess around and trampling, or online names, how people have their gamer tags and stuff now. Mine for years was Diablo. And after using that name, I even used it professional for about, 4 or 5 years wrestling. But then after that, I knew it was time for a change, because I wouldn't, like I said, after I got in there with Bull Payne and started learning more, I needed something different to stand out more rather than just, typical sound-off backyardish name that you would hear like Diablo or something like that. So after thinking, I changed it to my real name, of course, Shane.
Yeah.
But then added Mercer there in the background. But then that's when the Iron Demon thing came into play. 'Cause I wanted to have a throwback to the people who knew me and followed my career and everything. So that's why I was like, Diablo. Let's go with something here for a nickname, something to stand out. And of course, just Demon, simple. The Iron part of that, of course, comes from the weightlifting background.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and as we kind of mentioned before, you said you did powerlifting, and that was kind of where your more athleticism kind of begun for you. So, is that still something that you do now? Is that still a part of your life?
Oh yeah, definitely still love it. I'm still trying to go in here and go after records. I usually compete about twice a year, going to competitions for the NPA and the APA. And it usually depends on whenever they're around. I don't want to travel all across the U.S. just for a meet for like a few hours, and like those are pretty grueling just to sit there for so long, and so many people do it. But definitely still love to compete, and anytime they have competitions that come around closer, as far as on a big range like a state or like a USA Open or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Excuse me. So, we've kind of learned a little bit about you today. Obviously, we learned about your background. How you kind of got brought up in wrestling. So, is there anything, or is there one thing that most people do not know about you that some of your fans might not know about you? Maybe like a little fun fact or a tidbit.
Let me see here. Trying to think of something just here off the wall rather than something basic for you. I've always been a pretty big video game nerd growing up. Always been in the gaming console systems and things like that. Still pretty big into them. Pretty big comic book enthusiast. I have a collection of crossover comics. It's not just like, like Batman and Superman. I don't mean like that. I mean like actual company crossovers. I guess that's straight over from the wrestling. I always thought that was cool in a comic book to see like a Batman versus Predator or like a Terminator versus Aliens, something weird like that. But I've always loved that, and got a big collection of those. Absolutely. And I also collect medieval weaponry. I got all kinds of random crap all over the house over here. From spike clubs to morning stars to some bronze shields.
Wow. So then, so you mentioned comic books, but before I jump into that also, so then you have a lot of collection of medieval weapons. Are you really into history at all? Are you kind of like a history buff?
Not necessarily just been in history, but I guess just that time period. I liked a lot of the stuff, like the medieval weaponry. It just seemed like really unique. Today everything's just different types of guns and volumes with the bullets and things like that. But back then, it seemed like you've seen so much stuff that was just different, type of like spiked clubs, barbarian blades, and like axes and Nordic axes and things like that nature, and the morning stars and the flares. I don't know, it just seemed really unique seeing type of weaponry back then. I thought it'd be something cool to collect, to have a whole wall full of just, people have their guns and their walls of guns and cabinets, and I always thought it'd be awesome to have a whole wall full of nothing but armor and medieval weaponry.
Absolutely, yeah. So, also, you mentioned comic books. I mean, I'm kind of a big comic book guy myself. I love, reading them and whatnot. Do you read any new stuff, or is it mostly just old stuff?
I don't usually dive into anything in particular. Like, I don't follow, like, any particular series. I'll catch up on it through Wikipedia or some of the websites to see the up-to-date things about what's going on. Like, I know there's a female Wolverine now, and there was a female. I wasn't really paying, like, it didn't really capture my attention a lot, seeing everything that was going on, the changes and everything. But like I said, I still do follow, like, anytime they have crossovers or anything like that. Like, I just recently got a Masters of the Universe versus DC Universe, which is pretty badass. But it's usually a lot of times just one shots that I'm interested in through the crossovers that they do. Unless they have some particular story, like the Battle World story or something like that just recently happened.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Definitely. And that's obviously really cool, for people who don't read comic books or watch comic movies, you should. But
yes.
So obviously, we're in 2017 now. This is going to be a huge year for wrestling. I think it's just going to get better and better for everybody. So looking ahead, what are your goals for 2017?
My goals is, just to get out there a hell of a lot more than I have any in the past, hopefully all combined. I've already been in this year, since it's March now, almost April. I've already been in close to 10 states wrestling. I'm hoping to make that, quadruple by the time this year is over with. I'd love to wrestle in all 50, honestly, and have some countries added to it before this year is over. I just want to hit it harder this year than I ever had before, and don't give no excuses on why not to. Just go out there and do it. Just become like how I'm known in this area that I wrestle at, but all over the U.S. To hopefully, a contract gets signed somewhere or something. Just keep moving forward and doing bigger and better things.
Yeah, definitely. Those are obviously great goals. I mean, that's obviously the best thing to do is just keep moving, keep growing. So, as well, kind of along the same mindset of, goals for this year, are there any guys that you like to work with this year, and like a list of some sort?
At the top of that list right now, we're probably Pentagon Jr. I was supposed to face him last year at a Strong South show, and I guess something's up there with one of his bookings from AAA and contract disputes or something. I don't know the offhand gesture of what happened, but I was supposed to face him, and that didn't happen. I'd love to lock up with Jeff Cobb. I've been on a few shows with him, talked to him, cool guy, but never got to lock up with him. And I'd like to go in there again with Michael Elgin. I've done his camp with him, and every time I faced him, I feel like I've gotten a little bit better, but I haven't got to face him for almost 2 years now, and I feel like it's time to kind of re-up and do that one again.
Yeah, definitely. Michael Elgin, he's a hell of a worker. I mean, he's hell of he's just a wrestler in general, but he can go the distance. Definitely, I think he's an awesome guy. Well, all right, Shane.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for coming on here, man. But before I let you go, do you have any social media where fans can follow you?
Yeah, I got an Instagram. If you search just Shane Mercer together on there, you can find me. You can find me on Twitter at the Iron Demon. Or hell, if you ever want to add me on any of my gaming consoles, you can look up on there, look up the Iron Demon and find me on there. And, of course, I have a Facebook page, which you can just look up Shane Mercer, find me on there as well.
All right, so guys, go on all these social medias. Go on there, find Shane, add him, follow him, because trust me, you're going to want to see him wrestle. You're going to want to see him work because he's fantastic. And he's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, so might want to catch him now before anybody else does, so you can say you're a hipster. So, thank you so much, Shane. It's been a legitimate pleasure having you on here. Maybe later on down the road we can have you back on here and get a little update from you.
All right, man, anytime. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Thank you so much. See ya.
Come crack open a cold one and let old Mancer tell you a story.
King of Big Dog Style, Larry and Light Beer, the king of the trailer court, your favorite wrestler of mine, me.
This is Warner's Wisdom with Mance Warner.
All right, people, here we go. We on another edition here on Warner's Wisdom. This is the king of Big Dog Style, your favorite wrestler, and me, old Mercer, the king of the pop-up, headbutt, Larry and Light Beer, king of Big Dog Style. Said that one already. I got all my light beers out here. Get ready to start my drinking. Now I'm a little heated. Right now, people. So this edition of Warner Wisdom right here probably going to be a little bit shorter than usual because I'm all hyped up. I'm all heated up. I'm ready to throw some headbutts. Old Mancer ready to rock and roll, baby. Now, what happened? Let me explain this story to you. Old Mercer down here in Orlando, Florida, out here rocking and rolling, hitting up the shows. Old Mercer on the big comeback. Now, let me walk you through the situation here. Old Mercer, like I said, I'm heated, baby. I'm mad. I'm angry. I'm ready to throw some lariats, ready to throw some big boots, some headbutts, some pop-up headbutts, some big old punches, maybe a couple of them, dudes. I'm just ready to go, people. I'm all worked up right now. Okay, so old Mercer down here in Orlando, Florida. Vinny Mac done talked to Mercer and said, "Oh, Mercer, I heard you on your big old comeback out here. I heard it, man. I heard you climbing that ladder to the tippy top once again, baby." I said, "Oh, Vinny Mac, you know that's true, my man. You know that's true, baby. I'm wearing my working boots. I'm out here putting the boots to people. I shower in these boots." Old Mercer wears these boots in the shower. I wear them outside. I put the boots to people. I lay down the law, people. That's what old Mercer does. Now, here's the situation. I'm probably going to get heat for talking about it. Old Vinny Mac and Mercer out there talking, setting up a big old comeback that he's been hearing about for a long, long time. Now, Vinny Mac said, "Mercer, you going to be in that battle royal, baby." Old Mercer goes, "Vinny Mac, I'm cool with that, my man. Just tell me what I got to do when I got to be there and we can rock and roll, my man." So, as I'm walking my way, walking around, working my way backstage, hanging out. Mercer had a good time, popping a couple light beers, out there doing what I do. I see somebody I've hated for a long, long time. Somebody that me and him crossed paths a couple times. I can't stand him. He can't stand me. Old Mercer sees old Disco Inferno. Now, you thinking exactly what old Mercer thinking. Why the hell Disco Inferno hanging out there in the first place? I don't know, man. It's WrestleMania weekend. People go around. People hang out. I can't control who's where and why they're there. Old Mercer and Disco start getting into a little bit of an argument right there. I don't like him. He don't like me. He screwed me over back in, I think it was 99, early 2000. He was working his way onto the booking committee down in WCW, and he screwed me out my big push. I can't stand Disco Inferno. So old Mercer out there getting all heated. I lose my cool, man. Old Mercer been working on some things out here in life, people. Old Mercer been working on some coping skills. He been working on not getting so angry. He been working on his aggression. I was going to say he working on drinking the light beers, but I will never, ever, ever, Mercer will never, Mercer will never, ever not sit there and drink all his light beers. Them light beers too good, baby. Now, what I am working on is drinking them faster so old Mercer can get more of them light beers down throughout the day. Now, anyway, back to my story. Old Mercer getting worked up. I'm angry. I see Disco. He screwed me over before. I don't like him. Mercer don't like him. Disco don't like Mercer. So I try to work on not beating the shit out of old Disco Inferno. But it is what it is. Stuff happens. Old Mercer makes his way through the crowd. I bum rush old Disco. I do. I take a swing on him. I hit him. A big old wackadoo to the side of Disco Inferno's head. Disco gets up. He takes a swing on me. Boom. We're going at it. Boom, 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 boom. Security rushes in there. Break us up. Old Vinnie Mac pulled me to the side and he said, Mercer, I see ain't nothing changed with you. He said, Mercer, you know I love you. I said, I know, Vinnie Mac, I love you too, big man. And he said, oh, Mercer, I'm going to have to let you go. Just like that. I done made my comeback and I got screwed over because of Disco Inferno. It was just like 99, 2000 again. I'm worked up and I'm talking about people. Now, to any of the bookers out there, anyone that wants to get it made, you make the match, you put Mercer in the ring with Disco Inferno. That's exactly what we got to do, people. It's the only way it's going to be settled. You put Disco in one corner, put old Mercer in a corner, anything goes, no disqualification, there you are. Get it made. Nah, old Mercer going to go drink some light beers. I'm going to roll up in a bar, and I'm going to start me a big old fight, and I'm going to throw some wackadoos and headbutts. That's all I got right now. Nah, you go find this show on the Dave Dynasty Show. It's the best part of Dave Dynasty Show. Old Mercer, King of Big Dog Style, Larry and Light Beer. Oh, I'm all worked up. Go retweet this, put it on the Twitter, put it on the Instagram, on the Grammar, put it on the damn, what's the other one? The Facebook, put it on the what is it, iTunes? I don't know. Retweet it. Y'all know what you're supposed to do out there. Y'all know what you're doing. Oh, Mercer, working on that one big comeback once again, baby. You got to be positive at the end of the day. I'm worked up. But now as I start thinking about it, oh, Mercer, he climbed that ladder and he got that comeback right. I was there for a couple hours. Got in trouble, got another fight. Things change, man. That's the way it goes. Old Mercer, go circle back around. Dust the dirt off me. Keep my working boots on. Old Mercer gonna go out there and do exactly what I've been doing this whole time, people. Old Mercer, come back. I'm looking to the heavens right now. Now sometimes I forget this is a podcast and not a shoot video where I used to make all my money back in 2002 on the shoot video scene for the RF video and the high spotters. Now, right now, I point to the heavens. Old Mercer is pointing to the heavens. I'm looking up. You people out there, close your eyes. Put your hands on your podcast, on that telephone, on that computer screen, whatever you got right now, and say it with Old Mercer. Old Mercer is standing up, pointing to the ceiling, to the heaven above, to the big man upstairs. Old Mercer is taking that one big comeback again, baby. I was there for a couple of hours, maybe a couple minutes. I ain't too sure. I'll drink a little bit. Now, Old Mercer staging his big old comeback. Once again, this is the year, 2017. People, write it down. Old Mercer gonna climb that ladder. Make his big old comeback. Up north to old Vinnie Mac, baby. That's where it's gonna go. Now, I had to end this on a positive note for all the people out there. I want to bring it down today. So, WrestleMania Day, people have a good time. Get out there. Get on the Pro Wrestling Tees and buy yourself a Larry and Light Beer Mance Warner t-shirt. Old Mercer right there. Buy that t-shirt, man. Old Mercer knows they send me an old little thing on there and I'll give you a call, man. I'll call you up. Old Brother Love ain't the only one to call people, man. Shivani too. Old Mercer does it too, baby. Okay, now I'm going to get off here. Y'all have a good time. Enjoy Dave Dynasty Show. The rest of it, it's going to be good. Not as good as Old Mercer, but you know how it is. Dave, I love you, big man. Now I'll see y'all next week. Same time, same place. Old Mercer right here.
Visit our friends at the Masked Republic. Go to luchaloot.com and luchashop.com and use the promo code DYNASTY for exclusive discounts.
And welcome back to the Dave Dynasty Show.
Howdy.
The interviewing is done. The wisdom is done. Hopefully the shitting is done.
Never say never, I guess.
Dear God.
Never say never.
By the time you hear this, WrestleMania will be done.
We will probably be dead from the noxious fumes. Fingers crossed, at least.
Oh, so just, yeah. I don't even know what to say now. This is so disorienting to me.
Plus, today's been really disorienting. I feel like it's not Sunday.
Weird. Yeah, just make sure you visit DaveDynasty.com and order a shirt. That's all you got to know. Just buy a shirt.
Visit our sponsors.
If you're going to shop at Amazon, go through our link.
If you don't, you're an asshole.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so that's that. I don't even know who we have on next week yet. I got to get an interview in the books. Got several people lined up.
We got
So I don't know who's going to be, but
we have another Legends this week, don't we?
No, that's coming next week.
Next week, okay.
So, yeah, let's go. Let's just get out of here before somebody else.
Let's
shits
go
on
get
our
some snacks or
podcast.
something, maybe a beer.
Happy WrestleMania Day. It'll be after the day after, but you know what I mean. So,
Hope you had fun.
yeah.
Not too crazy though.
But continue to go out and support your local independent promotions and cards. Lots of good stuff out there that is not WrestleMania. Not to crap on WrestleMania, but lots of other stuff out there. Make sure you support those guys. Like Shane Mercer, get a shirt from him. Hit him up. Give him a little money. And old Mance Warner, help him out too. So
He needs more light beer.
that's right. So anyway, for the Dave Dynasty Show, I am Dave Dynasty.
And I am Ike Isaacs.
Be good, be safe, and keep on growing. See ya.